Alright, good morning all. So we're moving on to Surah 98, Surah al-Bayyinah, clear evidence, right? Clear evidence. Right, verse 1, those who disbelieved among the people of the scripture and the polytheists were not to be parted from misbelief until there came to them clear evidence, right? So the book is talking about evidence coming forth to you, and that being the source of your change, right? And that being the source of your change, right? Are we talking from the change from polytheism to monotheism, right? Evidence coming for that, hey, messenger or prophet, right, is on earth, and or messengers or prophets are on earth, and they do not necessarily want, not necessarily do not want your worship, full stop, right? They do not want your worship, right? Full stop. And the point to be made is prior to this is that you can't blame people, right? You cannot blame anybody. You cannot blame a polytheist for saying it, because remember, this is somebody's belief structure, something that has been handed to them, right? Same thing goes with Islam, right? And certain practices in Islam or Christianity and so on. You can't naturally just blame somebody, right, for a belief structure that was given to them, and you don't know. Remember, faith in God is the unseen, right? And faith in how you connect with God is the unseen. You don't know that. We don't know that, right? So unless something comes, evidence comes to you that says, hey, well, I really shouldn't be doing this, right? Or if you experience something, right, and say, hey, for you to say, or you see with your own eyes, evidence, a piece of evidence, or you experience the evidence that say, hey, I really shouldn't be worshiping this God, right? Or this Comanche God, right? I really shouldn't be worshiping this demigod. I shouldn't be worshiping this deity, right? So if so that's why the book, so those who disbelieved, right, from the people of the scripture and the polytheists were not to be parted, are not to be parted from misbelief until there comes to them clear evidence, until, right, a messenger comes on it and be like, hey, well, this is wrong, right? This is wrong. And this thing is something that is repeated in cycles because people just don't get it, right? Time and time again, right? Or age and age again, right? People come saying this, but it doesn't reach the amount of people, and that's why I am encouraging, and others are encouraging people who have the information. You have the Quran, or you have the knowledge that there is only one God, right? To come forth and to share the information, share the knowledge, so that others or a wider range of people could be reached in this, in saying or spreading this knowledge, right? Um, so right. So in that way, well, you purify yourself, make yourself a messenger, allow God to make you a messenger, right? And recite purified scripture, right? Within which are character writings, which are rulings and laws, or practices, guidelines, what you want to call it, right? Um, Nor did those who were given the scripture become divided until they had come to them clear evidence, right? So when there comes clear evidence of something, right, you can't just abide by any scripture, right? Because it's like you're seeing something in front of your eye, you're seeing proof of something in front of your eye, right? You don't want to be praying the same way that I did before. One, you don't want to be reading the same practices I read, abiding by the same practices I used to do before, right? Or reading from the same scripture even that I used to read before, right? Um, so they were commanded not to worship anyone except Allah, being sincere to Him in religion, inclining to truth, and establishing prayer and giving charity, right? And that is the correct religion, right? So Islam is not a complex religion. Um, it is practical and um, logical, right? A practical and logical way of life, right? And it is not complex, it is very simple, in fact, right? So, um, it is, Allah intends ease. Remember that you don't need to conduct a set of rituals or do a set of things to just live right? Incline to the truth, establish prayer, right? And give charity, right? Um, so those who have believed in this, right, and done righteous deeds, those are the best of creatures and with their Lord, right? Creatures meaning people, right? Not creatures as in animals or plants or something, right? You are amongst the best people once you have believed in this, meaning that you are not commanded to worship except Allah, right? One God, right? There is no la ilaha illallah. There's no God worthy of worship than Allah, right? Be sincere in this belief that there is no God worthy of worship but Allah, right? Incline towards this truth, the truth, right? Establish prayer and give charity, and this is the correct religion, and you will be amongst the best humans on earth, right? Their reward will be with the Lord, with Allah, right? In gardens of perpetual residence, beneath which rivers flow, wherein they will abide, right? Well, forever. But nothing is forever in essence, right? We come here, we live, we pass on, right? Allah will be pleased with you, right? And yeah, a mutual understanding, a mutual um, understanding reached, right? Allah will be pleased with you. Allah is free from any need, but Allah will be pleased with you, and you will be pleased with Allah as God, right? Um, and this is for whoever fears Allah, meaning fearing the consequences for your actions and even your belief structures, right? Because your belief structures, you need to understand that even your belief structure has consequences, right? And that's why, and your actions, right? Your intent, belief systems, actions, all these things have consequences to it, right? So we move on to Surah 99 tomorrow, inshallah.